Testing, testing, testing. This is WCC Women's Basketball. Welcome to Beasley Coliseum. My name's Cooper. I will be calling the game today solo as we have WSU taking on the San Diego Toreros in a mediocrely effective game, essentially, for the WCC conference. Last time out, WC won 82-70 against Pacific, shooting 50% from the floor, 41% from three, and that was Thursday. Tara Wallach actually had a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Eleonora Villa, on the other hand, dropped 23 points. Tahina, 13 points. And Diana Mendez, a surprising 11 points from her, with Alex Koval out last game, and we will talk about that in a minute. But San Diego lost to Gonzaga, so this is their road trip. They went up to Spokane, played Gonzaga, lost 48-64. They shot less than 40% from the field, only shooting 111 from three. That is a pretty dismal three-point percentage if they hope to win here at Beasley Coliseum. They were out-rebounded 28-34 against Gonzaga, and they had 21 turnovers. Not saying the Cougs haven't had turnover problems, but San Diego certainly had some last game. Ava Ranson had 10 points, 3 rebounds, but she was perfect from the free throw line, and Lauren McCall had 7 points with 1 3 made. Heading into today's game, WSU is 14-10 overall. They are 9-4 in the WCC. San Diego, on the other hand, is 4-16 overall, and they are winless in the WCC at 0-11. Big egg there. WCC standings heading into today. Gonzaga is 14-8 and leads the standings with 9-2 in the WCC. Then there's Portland, and WSU is coming in at third after their win against Pacific. St. Mary's dropped, so WSU is in third, looking to advance their position a little more as they try and catch up with Gonzaga and Portland. San Diego is anchoring the WCC, 0-11 as we spoke of in the standings. WSU is looking to make it a 3-win streak. They went to Oregon State and beat them in their own house, and then on Thursday handed Pacific a pretty humiliating defeat. I wouldn't say humiliating, but definitely a resounding loss. And San Diego has not won since December 14th. So is this going to be a game? We will see. Hopefully it's good. WSU a little bit lacking in terms of bench. They've lost out in the size of Alex Koval. We'll talk about that. And they are the top, WSU is the top blocking team in the nation with 159 total blocks. Third in the nation with 6.6 blocks per game. They are shooting 425 from the field and 322 from 3 points. Not too shabby, 67.7 points per game. Wallach is a player to look out for. She has logged 3,619 minutes, 5th all-time in program history, and she's 341 minutes from most in program history. She's 5th in blocks with 146, and she has 1,149 career points. Wow. Cami Etheridge is 8 wins away from 200. Big mark for her. She currently has 192. Last game, she said about the last game against Pacific, the best thing we have going for us is that we can adjust, and that is certainly true with the lack of Alex Koval. We'll talk about that. Koval is in street clothes today, as we would say about Anthony Davis, but she is in street clothes. Cami Etheridge described it as a nagging foot injury. Not too more specific than that, but Candace Pettigrew will be the big man for the Cougs as the teams are set to take the floor. And hurrying up with the preview here, the Toreros, player to look out for is Kylie Horstmeyer. She is averaging 32.7 minutes and 11.8 points per game to lead the team. She gets 4.2 rebounds per game, and she's shooting about 50% from the field. Then there's Truett Riley, who's averaging 11.2 points, and she gets 6.8 rebounds per game. Ava Ransom with 343 field goal percentage. She's averaging just over 9.8 points per game. She is their assist leader with 3.5 assists per game. And Lauren McCall, their lone three-point shooter based off of the stats, is a 317 three-point percentage. I forgot to mention that earlier. Those players, most of them have a under 20% field three-point percentage. So not a shooting team the Toreros are, as the Cougs are set to take the floor here. As for starting lineups, the Toreros are going with Ava Ransom, number 0 Ava Ransom, number 1 Dresha Moore, number 5, Lauren McCall, number 21, Truett Riley, number 24, Kylie Horstmeyer, and for the Cougs, number 1, Tara Wallach, number 3, Candace Petticoat, number 10, Eleanor Avila, as we know, number 11, Estera Tahina, and number 34, Jenna Avila. So not a whole lot of size for the Cougs with Koval out, but they will look to see if they can make it work. The game is set to begin here. The Cougs rocking their all-white home unis with the red accents, and the Toreros rocking the navy blue as the tip-off is going to be fought over by Candace Petticoat, and she gets it. And looks like we're going to have a half-court violation right off of the start for the game. Unfortunate there, Candace Petticoat tipped it back, and it just went right back to her, and she's standing on literally the half line, both sides of the court. So it will be Torero ball to start off. This is number 5, Lauren McCall. McCall to number 0, Ranson. To number 21, Riley. To number 1, Wallach. Oh, pardon me, Ranson. And Ranson is still dribbling. This is number 1, Moore. She tries to get it inside to Riley, intercepted by Tahina. Over to Jenna Villa. On a fast break to Eleanor Villa, whose layup is good from the left side. Cougs are up 2-0. 9:27 left to play in the first quarter. This is McCall. McCall's driving on that left wing. This is number 1, Moore. Moore's going to get it over to Ranson on that right wing. She's going to pull up for a little mid-range air ball, and they're going to try and throw it off of Tara Wallach, but she gets it. And so that's a rebound for the Cougs, 2-0 still. Wallach wide open on the left wing. Her 3 is off the back of the iron, no good. Rebounded by McCall. She will bring that ball up. McCall, their lone three-point shooter, and she's going to take one here from the right wing, and that is good. She's got that butter lefty shot, as we know, from James Harden. And multiple lefties just have better shots. It's just the case. As the Cougs will bring it up here. Score is 2-3 Cougs, and Tahina's pass is errant. Tried to get it to Eleanor Avila, and that will go out of bounds for a Torero basketball. 8:43 left to play in the game. Cougs are up 2-3, or pardon me, losing 2-3. As McCall will bring the ball up. This is 24 Horstmeyer. She is the leading scorer for this team, and now gets it to Ranson, who passes it to Riley, who gets it to McCall. McCall working with Riley. Riley's going to size up Tara Wallach. She's going to try a spin move, little pivot, and her shot is no good off the backboard. Tara Wallach will get the rebound. So making her way towards a double-double already is Tara Wallach. A few rebounds here in this game. Jenna Villa over to the corner for Eleanor Avila. And this is Tara Wallach now. Gives it to Tahina. Tahina back to Wallach. Gives it to Tahina. Tahina sizing up more. She's going to keep looking for options here. Now guarded by Riley. She's going to try and go dribble on Riley. Tahina's pull-up is no good off the front of the iron, but Petticoat tries to get the rebound and bounces it off her foot. That's going to be Torero basketball to inbound on the baseline. So not very many shots being made here early. Cougs trailing 2-3, 7:50 left to play in the first quarter. McCall will bring the ball up the court and to the right side. She's going to get it to Horstmeyer, who gets it to Moore. Moore over to Ranson and back to McCall. This is Moore. Moore driving baseline. She's going to push off, and it's going to be an offensive foul against Tahina. So Tahina earns the Cougars a possession, and that is another turnover for Toreros. They had an issue with that last game. We'll see if it's going to plague them today at Beasley. This is Eleanor Avila commanding the offense. She's going to get it to Tara Wallach on that right wing. And Wallach's going to drive left. She's going to hit a little spin move. And her left-handed shot is no good off the backboard. And McCall is going to lead a fast break here. This is Ranson, pardon me. She's going to try a Euro step, blocked by Tahina. Petticoat with the rebound. Tahina throws it up to Eleanor Avila, who's trying to lead a fast break. Her left-handed layup is no good, but rebounded by Jenna Villa for an easy 2 under the basket. Nobody was on Jenna Villa as she got that rebound and put it up for an easy 2 points. So score is 4-3 Cougs with 6:51 left to play in the first quarter. This is McCall. McCall gets it to Horstmeyer. Horstmeyer's going to try and dribble against Jenna Villa, but she's going to pass it over to a wide open Moore in the left side, and that's no good, but rebounded by McCall, poked out to Ranson. Ranson is going to look for some options. This is Moore again. She's wide open. Looks like the Cougs are going to leave her open today. And this is Horstmeyer. Horstmeyer's going to dribble around her screen, though. And it looks like we've got a defensive foul as Jenna Villa tried to get around the screen. That is going to be a the first personal on Jenna, as we've got some subs coming in. This is Diana Mendez in for Candace Pettigrew. And looks like the Toreros made a substitution as well. That is Ranson. She is out as Horstmeyer is at the line for 2. That was a shooting foul, pardon me. Score is 4-3, 6:24 left in the first quarter as Horstmeyer's first free throw is good. And her second free throw is up, and that is going to bounce in after a few tries. So Cougar basketball to inbound from the baseline. Score is 4-5, Cougs. 6:21 left in the first quarter. This is Eleonora Villa now on the other side. Gets it to Jenna Villa, whose quick three from the left wing is no good. And rebound by Toreros. This is McCall. McCall's going to drive against Eleonora Villa, but she's going to get stopped and pass it back out to Riley. Riley to McCall. McCall's going to try and get a screen from Riley. And she's going to go around. That is number 1, Moore. Moore over to the new substitution, Rhodes, Haley Rhodes, whose three from the right wing is no good. Rebounded by Diana Mendez. Diana Mendez is going to dribble it up. We don't know. She's traveled a few times last game doing this, but no issues there. As Wallach now has the ball on the right wing. She's going to go left with it. A little handoff with Mendez back to Wallach. Wallach's going to drive right now. Wide open layup. No good. Smokes it. But she gets the rebound off of an error from the Toreros, and she's going to put it up, and that's no good. Rebounded by number 1, Moore. Now McCall's going to lead a fast break up to number 20. Over to Moore. Now to 20, Rhodes. Rhodes again from the right wing. That's no good. So Cougs are leaving him open. Rebound by Diana Mendez. Score is 4-5 Cougs. 5:16 left to play in the first quarter. Not a very high scoring first quarter for either team. Eleonora Villa is going to slow it down here. Give it to Tahina up near the logo. She's going to try and work with Mendez. And a little pick and roll to Mendez. And her shot is no good off the right of the backboard. As Riley is going to bring the ball up now. This is Rhodes. Rhodes again on that right wing. Eleonora Villa giving her space. They want her to shoot. That's number 1, Moore. Moore's going to get it over to Horstmeyer. This is the person you don't want shooting for the Cougs. Now to Moore. Moore's going to drive right on Mendez. And her little turnaround is good. It rolls in. So score is 4-7 Cougs as San Diego not shooting too well, but the Cougs shooting even worse. 20% from the field right now, 0% from 3. Tahina will bring the ball up. Gets it to Villa. Jenna Villa. Gets it to Mendez, who's going to survey the court. Trying to pass it off. Gets it to Tahina on that right wing. Tahina's going to drive left now. Gets it to Wallach. Passes it to Villa. Eleonora Villa. Eleonora Villa is going to size him up. Now gets it to Mendez. So Mendez is going to look for an option as the shot clock is running down. 3 seconds to go. That shot is no good. Wallach is fouled, though, on the three-point shot. Sousaphone was in the way. Pardon me. Couldn't call that out. You know, the band instruments, they're so big. And we'll go to a media timeout. So Wallach will go back to the line for 3 as the Cougs trail 4-7 with 4:07 left in the first quarter. Not very good shooting from either team, but Wallach will shoot 3 with a chance to tie it up as we get back from break. So you're listening to KGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Score is 4-7 Cougs, 4:07 less in the first quarter. We'll be back after the break. Back at Beasley Coliseum, the score is 4-7 Cougs as they trail by 3 here, but Tara Wallach will come to the line to shoot 3 on a foul, a 3-point shot foul with 4:07 left in the first quarter. And during that break, actually, fun fact, Mitzi Jordan is in the house today. That is Cammie Etheridge's mom. So Cammie Etheridge, been in the game for a long time. The mom must have been in for even more. That is Mitzi Jordan. As Wallach makes her first free throw, nothing but net. And this game is going to be interesting. The Cougs obviously not shooting great to start off the game. Cammie Etheridge just probably talked to them about that during the media break as Wallach makes her second. Kylie Horstmeyer for the Toreros hasn't made a huge impact so far, but we will see about that as Wallach makes all 3. So tie ball game here, 7-7, 4:05 left to play in the first quarter. Now this is Torero basketball. This is 0. Ranson gets it to Truitt, whose shot is no good. That was Truitt Riley, whose turnaround jumper was no good. And Tuhina's going to lead another fast break, try and throw it up. She's been playing quarterback recently, seems like, as Diana Mendez will drive left, and her shot is good. So coming out of the break, the Cougs make a layup for the first time in a while. Score is 9-7 Cougs, 3:33 left to play. This is Ranson. Ranson over to McCall. McCall is trying to get a screen from Riley, and she will. And her shot is no good. So rebound Diana Mendez. Cougs leading 9-7, 3:10 left to play in the first quarter. As Tahina will try and get a screen from Mendez. She'll drive right against McCall, and her shot is no good off the right of the iron. But looks like we've got a foul on the floor, and that's going to be Diana Mendez on a rebound foul, trying to get it over Riley. So that is Diana Mendez's first personal, as it will be Torero basketball to inbound. And fun fact, the Toreros have twin sisters playing, Jaden Rhodes, number 19 Jaden Rhodes and number 20 Haley Rhodes today, on both 5'11 juniors out of Keller, Texas. As the Toreros now have the basketball, 9-7 Cougs, 2:52 left to play in the first quarter. This is Ranson gets it over to Horstmeyer, who gets it into Moore, and her shot is up and under good as she was inside against Diana Mendez. 9 ball game as Jenna Villa passes it up to Wallach, who quickly gets it out to Eleanor Villa. Eleanor Villa over to Diana Mendez. The Cougs will reset, try and slow it down here. 2:28 left to play in the first quarter, 9-9 ball game. This is Jenna Villa now, a little jab step, trying to get around Horstmeyer. She's going to do a pick and roll with Mendez. Mendez is going to be wide open, but passes out to Tara Wallach, who's going to drive right, has plenty of space, and her layup is good from that right side. So 11-9 Cougs, 2:10 left to play in the first quarter. This is McCall. McCall's been running the point so far this game. She's going to force it left now. This is Ranson. Ava Ranson gets it to Riley. Riley inside to Moore, who gets it back out to Ranson, whose shot is no good. Looks like we've got a foul on the floor. And that's a 3-second violation for the Toreros. As we've got some subs coming in for the Cougs here. Jenna Villa and Estera Tahina are out. Kyra Gardner and Abraham are in. That is Charlotte Abraham, number 19. So Kyra Gardner will now run the point for the Cougs as she brings the ball up past half court on that right side. She's deep into that right wing. She's going to try and dribble around McCall. Now dumps it off to Abraham, who's going to work around with Mendez. And she's still dancing around near the three-point line. Over to Kyra Gardner inside to Mendez, who's going to try and put some moves on Riley. And her layup is up and under good. And one for Diana Mendez. She will go to the line for a three-point play. Cougs lead 13-9 here with 1:33 left to play in the first quarter. Diana Mendez at the line. And Kyra Gardner going over to talk to an assistant coach. Looks like Cammie Etheridge is down the bench talking with her players, specifically Jenna Villa, it looks like, as Diana Mendez's free throw is good. So Cougs will lead 14-9 with 1:33 left to play in the first quarter, as it will be Torero basketball. And that is Ava Ranson out for, it appears to be number 20, Haley Rhodes, as Toreros will bring the ball up for their offensive possession. This is Riley. Riley is going to survey the court, waiting for stuff to develop. This is over to Rhodes. Rhodes is going to hit a wall with Kyra Gardner, and now she's going to dribble all the way back out to the 3-point line. Now gets it to Riley inside. She is triple teamed, but her layup is good as she bumps Kyra Gardner over, who complains to the ref. Doesn't matter. Score is 14-11. 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. Kyra Gardner now leading that offense. She's going to bring it up the left side. Now over to Eleanor Villa. Jenna Villa is out right now. This is Eleanor Villa over to Diana Mendez. Looks like they're feeding Diana Mendez the ball. She's going to try and size up Riley, and her layup up and under Riley is good from that right side. So 16-11 Cougs, 43 seconds left to play. This is McCall bringing it up quickly for the Toreros. San Diego here. This is Horstmeyer. Horstmeyer into Riley, who tries to get a wide open Rhodes, but that ball is actually going to go out of bounds. Looks like we got a foul. Yeah, looks like Riley was smacked on that pass attempt. So Riley will not go to the free throw line. Looks like it's going to be inbounded by McCall. So Diana Mendez is out as Candace Petticoat comes back in. So almost the starting lineup here, minus Esther Tahina and Charlotte Abraham is on the floor. But Toreros will inbound it here to Horstmeyer. Horstmeyer is the shooter, top leading scorer for their team in terms of averages right now. So she's going to try and size up, get a screen from Moore, and her shot is good from that left elbow. Score is 16-13 Cougs. Shot clock is off, 15 seconds left as Eleanor Villa dribbles it up towards the center of the Cougar logo. She's going to direct traffic here. She is battling against McCall. Eleanor Villa is going to drive left to the left wing, out to Kyra Gardner. As the clock runs down, Kyra Gardner is going to hoist up a one-legged shot, and it's no good. Skips off the front of the rim, and that will not be good. So final score is 16-13 in the first quarter. Cougs are shooting 38% from the field, 0% from three. I don't think they've attempted many, but that doesn't matter. They have not made a three yet in this game. They have 1 assist. San Diego, meanwhile, is shooting 38% from the field with 33% from three. They have 2 assists, and both teams shooting 100% from the free throw line. So score 16-13 here, Cougs, as we are taking the first quarter break. Cami Etheridge is sure to talk to her team about getting Diana Mendez the ball and maybe finishing around the rim, but we will see. Cougars are leading 16-13 as we enter the quarter break. Be back for the second quarter. You're listening to KGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum. You're listening to KGO, student voice of the Palouse. I'm Cooper. Cougs are winning 16-13 here as we are set to start the second quarter. It looks like the Cougs are going to send out Abraham, Wallach, Eleanor Avila, Kyra Gardner, and Candace Pettigrew to start the second quarter. Meanwhile, the Toreros, their head coach, Cindy Fisher, out talking with them right now as they will inbound the ball here to McCall. McCall has been largely the point for most of the game for the Toreros as she kind of does some sporadic dribbling. And over to Ranson, pardon me. That was Horsemeyer. Horsemeyer over to Moore. Moore shot over Candace Pettigrew, no good. Long rebound out to Tara Wallach, so she will lead a fast break up to Kyra Gardner. Gardner is going to get fouled here by, appears like, number 1, Trisha Moore. So Cougs will inbound on the baseline. And stories of the game so far, Wallach, 5 points, 4 rebounds already. She is almost halfway to another double-double. That would be 2 in a row for Tara Wallach. So hopefully she can do that today as it will inbound to Gardner. Gardner gets it over to that right wing Wallach. Wallach gets to Eleanor Avila, who's going to step back for a shot mid-range, no good. Candace Pettigrew is going to fight for a rebound, and she gets it on that left side. Down low now, Candace Pettigrew, her shot is no good. So Riley with the rebound, she will get it to McCall. Everything goes through McCall for San Diego. This is Horstmeyer now on that left wing, guarded by Abraham. Horstmeyer now going to drive baseline, and her shot up and under is no good, but she's going to be fouled by Abraham. Abraham had some struggles with committing shooting fouls last game, specifically ones at the buzzer. It was kind of weird against Pacific, but Cami Etheridge hopefully talking to her about working on that, but not terrible defense there, just up and under. Horstmeyer is their leading scorer. She knows how to get to the basket as her free throw is no good, so leaving points on the board, San Diego is. That is no good. Score is 16-13, 9:05 left to play in the second quarter as Horstmeyer's second shot is good, so she goes 1 for 2 from the line. Score 16-14 Cougs, 9:04 and counting left to play in that second quarter. Eleanor Avila now is going to try and work through a full court press. That's kind of weird. And we've got a travel here by Eleanor Avila. So full court press works out for the Toreros. And they will inbound here from half court. So Eleanor Avila kind of complaining to the refs. Didn't think that was a travel, but the refs call it. And this will be Lauren McCall as she will dribble around Riley. McCall guarded by Eleanor Avila. She will dump it off to Horstmeyer. Guarded by, now to number 1. This is a kickball by Gardner. Pardon me, tripped up there. That was Marta Alcina has now checked into the game. I missed that one, my bad. Cami Etheridge sitting down for this as she directed her team there for a second. So it will be Torero inbound to the basketball, and it goes off the back of Tara Wallach for an easy 2. Lauren McCall, nice play there, high IQ play to bounce it off of Tara Wallach's back and into the basket. Wow, I have not seen that before in person. I've seen it on highlights, but that is the first time I've ever seen that in person. Alcina now has the ball. She's going to work with Abraham. Abraham's going to bounce it inside out to Eleanor Avila for a wide open 3. That is no good. And rebounded on the right post by Wallach. Now all the way back out to Eleanor Avila, who's going to reset the play as the shot clock resets. Eleanor Avila now guarded by McCall. She's going to drive left, and she's going to put up a little floater, and that's good. So Eleanor Avila with a nice floater there against Lauren McCall. Good physical play there by Eleanor Avila. So McCall and Villa having a little bit of a back and forth in this game. Scores 18-16 Cougs, 7:54 left to play in the second quarter. And number 11, Malia Tharp is in for the Toreros. And as they score here, so 18-18 game, 7:42 left to play in the second quarter as the Cougs will have the basketball. Tara Wallach now on that left wing. She's going to survey the defense, and she's going to drive right against Riley and going to get stopped in her tracks, but she's going to try and bounce pass it to Abraham, a cutting Abraham, but that is kicked. So Cougs will inbound here on the baseline. As Estera Tahina is set to check in, she will check in for Kyra Gardner. So Estera Tahina is back in, so that means they've got their kind of small lineup in. Tallest lady on the floor, girl on the floor is Tara Wallach, as she will get a cutting easy 2 and 1. So score is 20-18 with a chance for 21-18. Tara Wallach will go to the line again. And she is slowly but surely making her way. Not even slowly. She has 7 points and 5 rebounds already in this game. Chance for 8. That would be pretty close to a double-double already, as her free throw is good. So Tara Wallach completes the three-point play. Score is 21-18 Cougs, 7:28 left to play in the second quarter. McCall to bring the ball up now. And this is Haley Rhodes, pardon me. I forget that there is twin sisters. Haley Rhodes is the only one on the floor right now. She's going to try and work against Tara Wallach, though. Drives inside, and she's going to get fouled by Tara Wallach. So Wallach is called for the foul. She is kind of face-palming. She doesn't believe that that's a foul, but looks like it will be her first personal. And Rhodes will go to the line. So, yeah, San Diego has two twin sisters, Haley Rhodes and Jaden Rhodes. Haley Rhodes is the only one that's been currently playing so far. She is number 20. I apologize for mixing that up, as her first free throw is good. And Tara Wallach is probably going to get the rebound here. She's closest to the basket, as Rhodes' second is good as well. So score is 21-20 Cougs, as there's going to be another full court press, but Tahina and Wallach make it out of there alive. Here's Eleanor Avila now on the left wing. Her pass is intercepted by Horstmeyer, so try to get into Abraham. Intercepted there, and Horstmeyer looks like she's carrying the ball up the court, but that is allowed now. So the refs are not going to call carries if they are not too bad. Horstmeyer now resets it to 11, Malia Tharp, who's on the floor. This is Rhodes. Rhodes out to Riley. Riley is going to drive inside against Wallach, and her pull-up is good from just inside the right elbow. So Cougs will reset. 21-20 here, Cougs. 7:04 left to play in the game. This is Eleanor Avila now to Alcina. Alcina to Tahina, who's going to direct traffic left, but go right to Alcina. Alcina inside to Wallach. And that is intercepted by number 21, Riley. Riley up to Rhodes on that left wing. She stops in her tracks. She's going to reset the play. Rhodes now thinking about a three, maybe. Tries to get a screen from Riley. She's going to drive inside, right, passes the right elbow. Now her right-handed layup is no good, but it's going to be rebounded by Riley, and her layup is good. So score is 21-24 Cougs, as Wallach is going to drive inside out to Charlotte Abraham, whose three is good. And pardon me, score is 24-24 Cougs now. 5:48 left to play in the game, as they're having some issues with the Jumbotron. But McCall will bring up the basketball. This is Rhodes to Tharp. Tharp to Horstmeyer. Horstmeyer's going to dribble a little bit. Down to McCall. Back out to Rhodes on that left side, just inside from that left wing. No good. And rebounded by Abraham, so you will bring the ball up. 24-24 game, 5:21 left to play in the second quarter. Alzina thinks about a three, but doesn't, passes it up. Cross-court pass to Wallach. Wallach's going to drive inside, and her layup is no good. Gets her own rebound, though. She's stat padding. I'm just kidding. But she is getting close to that double-double. Now back out to Eleanor Avila to reset. She's going to get a sort of screen from Tahina, but Tahina squirms out and gets the ball. Now she's going to fake against Rhodes. Now she drives right, and she is fouled on the layup attempt. No good, but she will go to the line for two. As the score is 24-24, 5 minutes left to play in the second quarter. We've got some subs coming in for both teams. That is number 1, Dresha Moore in for the Toreros, as we're going to go to a media break. So score is 24-24 Cougs and San Diego. We've got a tie basketball game here. 5 minutes left to play in the second quarter. In terms of shooting, Cougs are shooting 39% from the field, only 25% from three. You want to see those numbers go up. And San Diego shooting 45% from the field. Their numbers have ticked up, and they're shooting 33% from the field. That's pretty good from three-point percentage. So 24-24 game here. 5 minutes left to play in the second quarter. You're listening to KGR, the student voice of the Blues. Come back when the game begins again. And tie ball game here, 24-24 with 5 left to play in the second quarter as the Cougs are taking the floor. Diana Mendez will get subbed in here, and Jenna Villa will be back in the game for the Cougs. Interesting note, San Diego has a few players from the Pacific Northwest. I'm counting Boise, Idaho. I know you could argue it's kind of in the Midwest, sort of. But Ava Ranson is from Timberline High School in Boise, Idaho. And Lauren McCall is also from Timberline High School, so a pair of high school buddies from Boise, Idaho, and Truett Riley is from Silverton, Oregon. As Tahina makes her first free throw, she was fouled before the break on a 2-point attempt, and her second free throw is good. So we've got some Pacific Northwest natives here on the court as Cougs will put it on a full court press out of the break. And scores 26-24, Cougs, 4:51 left to play as it's ticking down. Lauren McCall now to Rhodes to McCall, to Riley, over to Horsemeyer. Horsemeyer is going to try and get around the smaller Tahina, and Horsemeyer's shot is off of the rim, no good. Rebound, Diana Mendez. Now up to Tahina. Tahina back to Mendez, who passes up a shot, gets it to Jenna Villa. Jenna Villa is thinking about a shot, doesn't take it, gets it to Eleonora Villa, whose shot from the left wing is good. That was a 3-point shot. Scores 29-24 Cougs, 4:15 left to play. McCall will bring the ball up the court for the Toreros. Gets it over to Moore. Moore to Rhodes. This is Haley Rhodes, not her twin sister. Over to Riley. Riley will now work it to Horstmeyer, who's going to try and get to the free throw line, but gets it back out to Moore. Moore to McCall. Now she's going to work, and looks like we've got an offensive foul here on the Toreros on a little handoff screen play between McCall and Moore. So Cougar basketball scores 29-24 Cougs, 3:58 left to play in the second quarter as Eleanor Villa will inbound from the baseline near their own bench. This is Tahina to bring it up the floor. So McCall is a feisty little defender for the Toreros. She has been battling Tahina and Eleanor Villa so far in this game. Tahina directing traffic, now gets it to Eleanor Villa, who will dribble it around, tries to get a screen from Jenna Villa. Now she will maintain her possession. Now Eleanor Villa will dribble around Diana Mendez, and her little floater is no good. So Eleanor Villa liking that floater today, didn't make it that time. 29-24 Cougs, 3:30 left to play in the game. This is McCall, passes up a three from the left wing. That is no good. Abraham's going to fall awkwardly and cause another foul. So that is Abraham's second personal as she kind of falls on Rhodes' leg on the rebound there. But it's going to be inbounded by McCall. And pardon me, McCall had a 3-point attempt from that left wing. I called that incorrectly as she will pass it inbounds here. This is number 0, Ranson. Ranson now over, and that ball is intercepted actually by Jenna Villa, who's going to lead a fast break to Eleanor Villa, whose layup is no good, but rebounded by Jenna Villa, who's fouled on the shot attempt. So Eleanor Villa, wide open left-handed layup. She actually uses her right hand and a little bit too strong off the glass. So the score is 29-24 Cougs, 3:12 left to play in the game. Jenna Villa will go to the line for 2. Cougs are doing a good job of attacking the paint. They're shooting 40% from 3 now. We talked about how it was 0 earlier. Not taking a whole lot of threes, but, you know, they are kind of making them 40% and also 40% from the field. So Jenna Villa will now take 2, and the first of 2 is good. And we had a sub there. So Diana Mendez is in. Tara Wallach is also in. So Abraham is actually subbed out as she has 2 personals. And Jenna Villa to take her second. Not a very crowded Coliseum today as she makes her second. So scores 31-24 Cougs as there's a little bit of full court press going on. 3 minutes left to play. This is Riley now. So Toreros get out of it, but this is McCall, right wing. She's going to signal traffic. She's going to try and work her way left, gets a screen from the other twin sister Rhodes. Now she's going to go to a cross-court pass to Haley Rhodes. So Haley Rhodes is going to dribble around to that left side now. She's going to get stopped by Jenna Villa, bumps into her, and her shot is good off the backboard. So Haley Rhodes being effective inside for the Toreros. Scores 31-26 Cougs, 2:40 left to play and counting. This is Mendez. Mendez is going to hand it off to Eleanor Villa. Eleanor Villa over to Jenna Villa. Jenna Villa on that right side. Now over to Tahina. Mendez pulls up, from just inside the right corner, no good. Rebounded by Haley Rhodes. Now up to McCall. McCall is going to think about a shot, doesn't take it. Now over to Jaden Rhodes. Now back to McCall. McCall is going to work with Jaden Rhodes on a screen to get Tahina off of her. This is Riley. Riley's going to work against Jenna Villa, but over to McCall. Thinks about a three, doesn't take it. That left-handed shot, now she does. And that three-point is no good off from the rim. Rebounded by Riley, though, and her shot is good. So Tahina complaining about some blown defensive coverage potentially, but score 31-28 Cougs as the small Tahina gets taken advantage of there by the Torero offense. 1:48 left to play in the game. This is Wallach, now gets the handoff from Mendez. She's going to work around a screen for Mendez. Now takes a three, Wallach, and that's nothing but net. Tara Wallach from up top. This three is good. 34-28 Cougs. She is not on the board, pardon me. 34-28, 1:30 left to play as the Toreros make their way back down the court. This is McCall with the ball, of course. Now she gets it over to Ranson. Ranson is going to work with Jaden Rhodes. Now to Riley. Now back to McCall, who's going to drive left. Tries to do a little pick and roll with Riley. Ball is kind of tipped. Tahina is going to get her shoulder put into her. And that shot is no good by Riley, but rebound Rhodes. And that is going to be a foul on Tara Wallach, it looks like, as Haley Rhodes will go to the line for two. And Diana Mendez is out as Candace Pettigrew will get subbed in. Tara Wallach now has 11 points, so she already has the point total for her double-double. She has 6 rebounds. So working her way toward a double-double as the second half is almost expired. 1:10 left to play. 34-28 Cougs as Haley Rhodes makes her first of 2 free throws. So Wallach looking to make it back-to-back double-doubles on this homestand after returning from a good win against Oregon State. And Wallach will now inbound from the baseline as Haley Rhodes makes her second free throw. 34-30 Cougs, 1:07 and ticking. This is Jenna Villa now on that far right wing. Passes it to the other side of the court now. This is Tahina now inside to Candace Pettigrew, who will try and put some moves on Riley and puts a shoulder under her. Her shot is no good, though. Back out to Tahina, who gets it back into Pettigrew. Quick play there, but Pettigrew cannot make the wide open layup. And that will be rebounded by the Toreros. This is McCall. McCall's trying to lead a fast break here to Riley. Riley's three is air ball. And that will be Cougar basketball to inbound. So 39.7 seconds left to play in the first half. As the Cougs will inbound here. 34-30 Cougs. We've got some airball chants from the crowd here. Not a very big crowd today. It is Saturday at noon. You'd hope that the Cougar faithful would come support the Cougar women's basketball, but not too much support. Good support from local fans, not so much the students' side. This is Eleonora Villa now as there's 26 seconds and counting. She is going to dribble around and gets to Jenna Villa. Wide open three on that left wing. No good off the back of the iron, but rebounded by Tara Wallach, making her way to that double-double. This is Tahina's three. Is no good. Too far. And that is going to be a Torero basketball. So Tahina complaining about something to Cami Etheridge, who crosses her legs. She's probably going to be a little frustrated. But Cami Etheridge, as we know, gets her team riled up at second half during that break, as Toreros are going to have the shot clock off. And this is Ranson, who's going to drive against Candace Pettigrew and rebounded by the Cougs. This is Tahina. She's going to lead a fast break and pulls up from almost half court, and her shot is no good. Skips off the front of the rim, and that is not going to be good. So score is 34-30 heading into halftime. Tahina almost makes a long-range three for the Cougs to end it there. She was wide open, but that is a pretty far shot for anybody. So, splits here for this game. 34% from the field the Cougs are shooting. 33% from three. Not too good from the field. Very difficult to get the ball into the basket inside for Pettigrew and Mendez, as well as Wallach, just having some difficulty getting it in there. And San Diego is shooting 39% from the field, but only 17% from three. We saw that with the three-point averages earlier in this game. Before the game, Horstmeyer only shoots 125 from three-point. Riley only shoots 111 from three-point. Ransom, I didn't write it down. It was in the hundreds. So that is under 20%. And Lauren McCall is the only one who really shoots 3 points for their team, 317. We saw Cami Etheridge kind of see that at the beginning of this game when they were leaving people like Haley Rhodes wide open from 3. Normally the Cougs do not do that with any player, but they are doing it today against San Diego. Obviously, San Diego winless in the WCC, but the Cougs are leading 34-30 at halftime. Cami Etheridge is going to go into the locker room and talk with the team about the shooting and potentially getting it down and inside and getting those better shots inside. But Tara Wallach, story of the first half, Tara Wallach, 11 points, 7 rebounds, only 1 foul, so no chance of fouling out this game, hopefully. But she is working her way to her second double-double in as many games. Jenna Villa has, Eleanor Villa has 7 points, Esther Tahina only 2, and Jenna Villa has 4. So, and Rhodes has 8. Haley Rhodes has 8 points, and Riley has 8 points as well. Horsemeyer not doing too well, but a lot of the Toreros have around 5 points or more, 8-8-5-5. So Toreros spreading the basketball out, and they're keeping themselves in this game. Only down 4 as the Cougs are winning 34-30 at halftime. Houston KJO, student voice of the Blues. Come right back. We'll be back with the second half. This is a close game. Don't worry about the matchup. This is a close game, folks. Welcome to a close WCC matchup as the Cougs are leading 34-30 against the San Diego Toreros. With a couple minutes left in halftime here. The Cougs are back on the floor doing the shoot-arounds. They are again wearing their white jerseys with the red accents, their home unis. And the Toreros are wearing navy blues with, looks like a light blue or potentially white accents. So, close game here, 34-30. As we know, San Diego is actually winless in WCC conference play this season. The Cougs, meanwhile, are third, trailing only Gonzaga and Portland heading into today. They are 14-10 overall, 9-4 in WCC conference. And coming out of halftime, Wallach is on track for a double-double. She has 11 points, 7 rebounds, only 3 for 8 from the field, but she has 4 for 4 from free throw, and she has 4 offensive rebounds, so she's doing the work on the offensive glass. And Eleanor Villa has 7 points, and Diana Mendez, who had a great game against Pacific in that first half, had another great first half. Not quite the same, but 7 points from her is not something to be underestimated for the Cougs, who want to play a team game here, try and get some team points. They win when people score in, not when the star players score, but everybody scores. So Eleonora Villa doesn't have that many points right now, but as we know, she can kind of pop up for more than 15, probably in a half. And on the other side, the Toreros, McCall, it's pretty spread out. McCall has 5 points. Rhodes has 8, and that is Haley Rhodes, not Jaden Rhodes, 2 twin sisters on the same team. She has 8 points. Riley has 8 points. Horstmeyer has 5, and she is their leading scorer normally in the season. She has the highest average. So expect her to score some more in the second half, maybe take over the game a little bit. But expect them to keep playing team basketball, and Moore has 4 points for them. As the teams are set to take the floor here, Cami Etheridge is done talking with her team. And coming at halftime, it's going to be Astera Tahina, Tara Wallach, Jenna Villa, Eleonora Villa, and Candice Pettigrew. And the only team still in huddle is the Toreros, but they will take the floor. This is Riley, McCall, Horstmeyer, Branson, and more. So the starting lineup for the Toreros, as the Cougs will have the first possession here. This is Tara Wallach. So 34-30 is the score with the second half just kicking underway. This is Tahina now. Tahina's going to do a far pass to Tara Wallach in that right corner. She's going to drive left over to wide open Jennaville on the left wing, and her 3 is good. So good start to the half for the Cougs. They are up 37-30. 9:30 left to play here in the third quarter. As the Toreros will get their first possession of the half. Look for them to keep feeding Horstmeyer, keep feeding everybody, really. They play a very team-centered game, and this is Dracia Moore, pardon me. She is being left wide open on the three-point line, but McCall is going to work with Riley now in a little pick and roll to Riley, and that is going to be out on, looks like the Cougs, pardon me. Kind of a little pick and roll as Riley bumped into Candice Pettigrew. No foul on the floor, but the ball is going to be out of bounds for a Torero inbound. And McCall to inbound to Riley. Riley is going to work against Jennaville. A little turnaround as the shot clock expires, but rebounded by Tahina. That shot was no good. Score 37-30 Cougs, 9 minutes left to play as there's a little bit of a fast break, but Eleanor Villa slows it down. This is Wallach now. She's going to be on the smaller, Ranson. So Tahina now working against Branson. Now gets to Pettigrew, who gets it back into side to Wallach, whose layup is up and under good for the easy 2. 39-30 Cougs. Tara Wallach now has 13 points, 7 rebounds. Keep an eye on that. She has a potential for a double-double. This is Ranson's, whose shot is good. Ranson shot from just about the free throw line was good. So score 39-32 Cougs now. 8:20 left to play in the third quarter. Tahina to Eleonora Villa. Villa to Pettigrew. Over to Wallach in that right corner. She's going to work against Horstmeyer, but she's going to pass it back out to Eleonora Villa. Now to Pettigrew. Pettigrew kind of working on that left elbow. Now to Jenna Villa. Jenna Villa is going to pass up a 3 opportunity. Get back it over to Wallach, who gets it to Tahina on that free throw line. Going to try and get it into Pettigrew, whose layup is good. She wins the matchup against Dracia Moore. for an easy two. Get Candace Pettigrew going, and the Cougs are in business. Scores 41-32 Cougs, 7:47 left to play in the third quarter. This is McCall. McCall to Riley. She's going to look around for a pass. Gets it over to Horsemeyer. Horsemeyer's got a funny way of dribbling the ball, but it is effective. Horsemeyer now passes it off to McCall, whose shot is good. That was over Candace Pettigrew. Little switches from San Diego are being pretty effective. Cami Etheridge stayed up. She's obviously a little frustrated. This is Tahina now. She's going to drive inside, but kick it back out to Wallach, who's going to kick it into Pettigrew. And her shot is no good off of the back of the iron, but it will go out of bounds for a Cougar basketball. So looks like the Cougs are trying to feed it inside to Candace Pettigrew, who's getting talked to by Cami Etheridge right now. Pettigrew not having real great success underneath the basket, though. She's finding a lot of opposition there by either Dracia Moore or whoever just checked in, number 11, Malia Tharp. So Tharp is in the game, but she's going to be guarding Wallach, as Wallach will get the inbound. So Tahina working on that left wing now against McCall. Out to Jenna Villa. Can't find any space for a three, but now to Wallach. Wallach kind of working around that right elbow. Gets it back to Jenna Villa. Gets it to Wallach. Wallach is going to drive right. Kick it out to Eleanor Villa. And looks like we've got a foul on the floor. Offensive foul. Off-ball foul. And it will be Torero basketball. So that was an off-ball foul on the Cougs. This is number 5, Lauren McCall, bringing the ball up for the Toreros. As we've said a million times before, she's going to cross up Jenna Villa for a wide open three, but she can't make it. Can't complete the clip, as Wallach will get the rebound. That goes to her double-double total, and Jenna Villa will come down now with the basketball. But Wallach will now have it. Wallach is on that right wing, gets it to Pettigrew on that three-point line. No danger there from Pettigrew, really. Looking to pass, and she's going to pass it to Cami Etheridge. Cami Etheridge is heated. She's bringing in a sub to Diana Mendez right now, actually. So Candace Pettigrew passes it to Cami Etheridge on an error out of bounds, and she's going to be immediately subbed off and probably talked to by Cami, who's a little frustrated, as we can imagine. She's going to actually get the silent treatment from Cami. Scores 41-34 Cougs, 6:20 left to play in the third quarter, as the Toreros will get the basketball off of that turnover, that errant turnover from the Cougs. This is Ranson. Ranson's going to try and get it inside. A lot of traffic here. McCall is going to back up to the three-point line now. She's going to try and work with Riley on a screen play. Now, a little screen to Riley, and Riley's layup is good. That was a little pick and roll there from Riley and McCall. So scores 41-36 Cougs, 5:55 left to play in that third quarter. We've got some Go Cougs chants from the crowd here now. Eleonora Villa will have the basketball, trying to get it to Mendez, and she will inside, and that layup is good from the left side. Left-handed layup there by Diana Mendez. So Diana Mendez now has 9 points in this game. So far, she's been pretty effective. Even though she's not in a starting role yet, she's been a little bit more effective than Candace Pettigrew in that position. This is Torero basketball now. 43-36 Cougs, 5:25 left to play. This is Horstmeyer now, looking for passes, and she's going to get it over to Ransom in the left corner for 3. That's good. So 43-39. This game is close, folks. This, you wouldn't see it from the standings, but anchoring the WCC, the San Diego Toreros are, as Eleanor Villa's little floater is good from almost the baseline. So scores 45-39. 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Horsemeyer, quick break down here and gets it out to Ranson, whose 3 is no good from that right wing. And fighting over the rebound, Diana Mendez earns it after Riley's going to get called for a foul. So it will be Cougar basketball. But Eleanor Villa likes that little floater, and you wouldn't think this game is close from the standings, but it's close here. 45-39 Cougs, 4:52 left to play in the third quarter. Listeners, you are listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Stick around for this exciting matchup, surprising exciting matchup here we have at Saturday afternoon. Teams are taking the floor once again as I welcome you back to Beasley Coliseum. My name's Cooper. I'm calling for KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Score is 45-39 Cougs against the San Diego Toreros as there's 4:52 left to play in the third quarter. Cougs will inbound here. A little full court press coming out of the break for the Toreros, but Cougs get it to Jenna Villa, who will dribble the ball up the court and passes it off to Wallach, who gets it to Tatina on that right wing. Now looking inside to Mendez. Mendez calling for the ball. She's going to size up Riley. She's going to drive left and kick it out to Jenna Villa. Wide open three from the corner. No good. Rebounded by McCall. And this is up to Ransom. Ransom's passes errant to, number 11, but it's back out to McCall. And number 11 is Tharp. And a little bit of handing off here at the three-point line for the things. And this is Horstmeyer's shot is no good. Toreros, pardon me. And Jenna Villa will now get the rebound, bring it back up to Tara Wallach, who is on that three-point line. Jenna Villa tries to find Diana Mendez inside. Mendez will get the ball. She'll size up and put a shot over Riley. That is good. Bounces in. So looks like Cami Etheridge is telling the Cougs to feed Diana Mendez the ball. She has been hot the past couple of days. She has scored 10 points. She scored 11 points last contest against Pacific, and she has 11 points now, and it is only 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. This is the Toreros now kick the ball out of bounds. Cole tried to get to Riley inside, kick the ball out of bounds. It'll be Cougar basketball. So 47-39 Cougs, 3:36 left to play in the third quarter, as Wallach gets it into Eleonora Villa, who is on the court with her fellow guard, Astera Tahina. Both of them like to bring the ball up the court, although Jenna Villa has done it a few times this game so far. And again, inside to Diana Mendez, now down low on that right post. She's going to do a little turnaround, and that shot is no good. And it's going to be out of bounds on Diana Mendez. So Toreros will inbound the ball, as we've got a sub coming in for the Toreros. This is number 20, Haley Rhodes, one of the twin sisters, in for Horstmeyer, Kylie Horstmeyer, as the Toreros will inbound to Lauren McCall. And McCall will bring it up. So Cami Etheridge telling the Cougs to get Diana Mendez the ball, get some easy twos. They are only shooting 41% from the field, maybe trying to get that percentage up. This is blocked by Tara Wallach. That was Ranson, who was blocked by Tara Wallach there. Jenna Villa now on the fast break makes it. So we've got a timeout here coming from the Toreros. San Diego Toreros. Scores 49-39 Cougs. Quick little play there. Tara Wallach blocks Ava Ranson, and then quick pass from Tahina up to Jenna Villa, who makes a nice short-range two-point layup. So score is 49-39. Cougs have put on a 10-point lead here. 2:53 left to play in the third quarter. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum as the Cougs have put on a 10-point lead here. Scores 49-39. Cougs, 2:53 left to play in the third quarter as the teams are starting to come out of the timeout by San Diego. And theme of this quarter so far is it's been a battle down low. I mean, Riley for the Toreros has 10 points down low, 7 rebounds, and Haley Rhodes has 8 points. Both of them not really shooters, but they are fighting with Pettigrew and Mendez down low, although Mendez has largely taken over the responsibility of being the down low person for Cammie Etheridge in this game. She subbed out Pettigrew after a mental error, passing error earlier, as the Toreros will now inbound the basketball and bring it up. Scores 49-39, 2:40 and clicking in the third quarter. This is Haley Rhodes. Haley Rhodes will drive against Mendez. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Haley Rhodes from the left elbow, and that is nothing but net. Score is 49-41 Cougs, 2:28 and counting. This is Diana Mendez to bring the ball up the court. Not something you totally want to see, but it happens occasionally. Tahina up to Wallach. Wallach inside to Jenna Villa, who had her player sealed. That was number 11, Malia Tharp, but it will retain Cougar basketball to inbound on the baseline. This is Aster Tahina to inbound. And she's looking. She gets it to Wallach, but gets it right back. She's going to think about a shot in the right corner. No good. Gets it to Jenna Villa, though. Jenna Villa now working. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Tahina wide open three from the right wing. And that bounces off the front of the rim and almost goes in, but doesn't quite do it. Mendez can't get the rebound. And Tahina's going to try and put some pressure on as she missed the shot, but McCall gets past her. This is Riley now to Ranson. Ranson works against Mendez down under. She now gets it back, try to get back outside. Now it's Lauren McCall over to Tharp, who is wide open. The Cougs are leaving her wide open on the three-point line. Maybe she's not a shooter. Probably isn't. But now it's back to McCall. So McCall working against Villa. Now inside to Riley, who's going to beat Tara Wallach, but smokes the layup. Rebound, Diana Mendez. Scores 49-41 Cougs. 1:28 left to play in the game. This is Tahina now. Tries to get it and sails it over. Was that John Mateer in the last 4 games? I'm just kidding. But Tahina throws it over the top as Jenna Villa had her man sealed down low, but can't get it to her. So scores 49-41. 1:23 left to play in the third quarter. Cougs are shooting 42% from the field, while San Diego's shooting 41%, so pretty equal from both teams. 8-point difference here. This is Haley Rhodes now. She has the ball. Not guarded on the three-point line, though. Inside to Riley, guarded by Mendez, and her shot is no good, but they get the rebound. This is Tharp, who is fouled, and it looks like that's going to be Jenna Villa with her second personal, as Tharp will go to the line for 2. So Cammie Etheridge not even bothering with some of the players, telling some of the Cougar players to actually back off of them when they're on the three-point line. Looks like the shooting is a little bit hard to come by for the Toreros, as Tharp's first free throw is not good. So scores 49-41 Cougs, 1:04 left to play after these free throws. Tharp misses the first as the second comes, and she makes the second. So 1 for 2 for Tharp. 49-42 Cougs, 1:03 and ticking. This is Eleanor Avila to bring the ball up the court as she will cross that beautiful Crimson Cougar logo. And now gets it over to Mendez, who will try and get it right side to Wallach. Wallach is going to drive baseline, kick it all the way out to Abraham, who is on the floor now. Eleanor Avila on that left wing, going to get a screen from Mendez. She's going to work with Mendez. Now a long-range 2 off the front of the iron, and no good. Rebounded by Riley. Up to McCall. McCall's going to lead a fast break here. She's going to think about a 3, doesn't take it. Now passes it off and gets it back, though. So this is McCall working against Jenna Villa. Now to Tharp. Tharp over to Ranson. Ranson to Rhodes. Rhodes left wide open the three-point line, but she's going to drive left on Abraham, and that shot is no good. Good defense by the Cougs. Now Mendez fighting over the rebound with Tharp, and it ends up in Diana Mendez's hands, and it's Tara Wallach. Tara Wallach crossing the Cougar logo. Eleanor Avila for a layup is good from that right side. Fast break points from Eleanor Avila. 51-42. Clock is still ticking here as it's ticking down, as McCall will try and take a long-range 3-quarter court shot. No good. So as time expires in the third quarter, Cougs are up 51-42. And Cammie Etheridge has to be happy about a performance there Diana Mendez fighting over that rebound inside and doing good job defensively. Cougs have a 9-point lead now, and the Cougs currently are out rebounding the Toreros 27-24, which is good. Tara Wallach is on the verge of a double-double. She has been almost the entire game as we're heading into the fourth quarter. She has 13 points, 8 rebounds, and as we spoke about, Cougs needed to get everybody the ball. Eleanor Avila now has 11, and Diana Mendez has 11 and 8, so 2 double-double alerts for the Cougs. And Jenna Villa is almost at 10 points as well with 9. Well, scores 51-42 Cougs as we're heading into the fourth quarter. We are going to take a break, and hopefully you will come back to watch the end of this game here with me. Score is 51-42 Cougs as we are set to start the fourth quarter after the break. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Blues. We're back at Beasley. Score is 51-42 Cougs as we're set to start the fourth quarter. Cougs got a different lineup coming in here. Kira Gardner, Charlotte Abraham, Eleanor Avila, Tara Wallach, and Diana Mendez to play for the Cougs, as the Toreros have Ransom, Riley, Rhodes, McCall, and number 1, Dracia Moore. As they inbound here, it will be Torero basketball. So the Toreros have it here. This is Ransom. Ransom to Riley. And gets it to Rhodes. Rhodes is going to try and probably pull it from the right. And that is going to be a foul on Diana Mendez as she tried to prevent Riley from getting that ball down low. So Toreros will inbound it from the baseline. And we got 2 double-double alerts. Tara Wallach has been working on one all game. She has 13 points, 8 rebounds. And Diana Mendez has 11 points, 8 rebounds. Toreros inbound it here. And we've got another foul on the floor. Again on whoever was guarding Riley at the time. Looks like Eleanor Avila was actually called for it. So that's going to be Eleanor Avila's first. Nobody in real danger of fouling out here aside from Toreros Moore, who has 3 personals. And they get it to Riley. Riley's going to put a little shimmy on Wallach and shoots it over the top. And that is good. So scores 51-44 Cougs. 9:30 left to play in the game. Eleanor Avila will bring the ball up. This is Diana Mendez. Gets it to Villa. Now back to Wallach. Wallach inside, working against Rhodes. A little shimmy as well, but her shot is off the front of the iron. Out to it, wide open Eleanor Avila. And that is off the front of the iron as well. Diana Mendez is going to fight for the rebound, and that's going to be a Torero basketball. So Abraham got the rebound there, got it out to Eleanor Avila, who couldn't put the shot in the net. And the rebound was a little awkward for Mendez, couldn't get it there. This is Torero basketball now as McCall brings it up the court. She is on that left wing. She's going to look for an option. She gets it into Ransom, who's right-handed layup on that left side. No good. Rebounded, though, by Moore. Now back out to McCall. McCall's going to work with Riley. And that pass is actually fumbled, but bounces out to Rhodes to McCall. 3 is air ball. And Moore tries to save it, but that's going to be out of bounds for a Cougar basketball. We've got some air ball chants from the Cougar faithful, who aren't in high number today, but they probably will be soon when the Gonzaga matchups happen. I think the men play Gonzaga next week, but you'd want them coming out and supporting the women's Cougar basketball, but it is a Saturday at noon, so understandable. A lot of partying probably. And this is Mendez. Mendez inside is going to be blocked by Riley, and looks like it's going to be an offensive foul on, appears to be Abraham, or maybe Mendez wasn't in control. Looks like it's going to be on Charlotte Abraham. So it will be Torero basketball to inbound from the baseline. Scores 51-44 Cougs. This is a lot closer matchup than most people would see on paper. And a large part of that is the Toreros only have 6 turnovers. They had 21 last week against Gonzaga. Pardon me, probably this week against Gonzaga. But 21 compared to 6 is pretty abysmal. But they were doing a good job today of limiting those turnovers, and that's making this game close. Cami Etheridge doesn't want it to be close, though. Scores 51-44, 8-10 left to play in the game. This is Horstmeyer now for the Toreros. Horstmeyer out to Rhodes. Rhodes is going to drive inside, try to get to Riley. Riley working against Diana Mendez. Her shot is no good. Mendez is going to fall, but Riley's shot again is no good. Now blocked by Wallach, and that's going to be Cougar basketball as it bounces off of Riley. Riley looks like she's complaining to the refs a little bit. Riley is kind of a beast inside. They are feeding her, and she has 12 points, and she's being pretty effective against Diana Mendez. Not that time, though, for the Cougs. Now this is Diana Mendez now working against Riley on the other end, and her shot bounces in. So a little favorable outcome there for Diana Mendez, as she now has 13 points, 8 rebounds for the Cougs. This is Toreros. The Toreros, pardon me. This is Rhodes. Rhodes is being led wide open on the three-point line. She's going to try and work her way again against Mendez. That shot is no good. And Ransom shot is no good. Out to Ransom now. That was Moore as the shot clock is taking down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ransom is going to have to hook up a shot, and that's blocked, actually. And it's going to be a shot clock violation on the Toreros. So scores 53-44 Cougs, 7:09 left to play. It'll be Cougar basketball. Eleanor Avila to inbound. Cougs have 8 turnovers on the other hand. They've got 3 Cougs on the floor in double digits. Alzina is on the court for the Cougs. She's almost going to commit a half-court violation, but doesn't. So Tara Wallach will not have the ball. Wallach to Villa, Eleanor Avila. She is going to try and direct traffic, work with Alcina. Now she's on that left wing, driving left, right. She's going to put up a shot against, and that is no good. That was against Rhodes, Haley Rhodes, no good. So 53-44 Cougs, 6:42 and ticking. This is Horstmeyer. Now gets it inside to Tharp. Tharp's shot is no good. Pardon me, that was Moore. Dracia Moore. Kira Gardner with the ball now. 53-44, 6:28 left to play, Cougar basketball. This is Kira Gardner. Kira Gardner working her way left. Now gets to Eleanor Avila, who's going to slow it down. Kira Gardner thinks about a 3, passes it up. A little jab step. She's going to work right, back and forth. Now puts up a fadeaway shot. No good against Ransom. This is going to be Torero basketball. 53-44 Cougs, around 6 minutes left to play. This is Haley Rhodes. Haley Rhodes is going to direct traffic. She's going to get a sort of screen from Dracia Moore. Now over to Riley. Riley's going to work with Horstmeyer. Horstmeyer is going to work around. This is now back out to Ransom. Ransom's going to work against Kira Gardner. Kira Gardner kind of hooks her, and right past goes Ransom for the easy 2. So Kira Gardner with some poor defense there for the Cougs. 53-46 as 5:41 left to play in the game. Eleanor Avila now with the basketball. She's going to get over to that right wing to Alcina. Now into Wallach on the free throw line. That shot is no good, but rebounded by Kira Gardner. Makes up for it. Now all the way back out to Eleanor Avila in the mouth of the Cougar logo. She is going to work her way left And behind the head pass to Kira Gardner, who gets it into Wallach on that right side. Little shimmy, and in for a easy two. I wouldn't say easy, but a great 2-point shot. Little shack, haha, there for Tara Wallach, as she has 15 points, 8 rebounds. She still needs 2 for the double-double. Mendez, 13 points, 8 rebounds, but great pass there by Eleanor Avila out to Kira Gardner, who gets it into Wallach. And we are going to head into a timeout. So scores 55-46 Cougs, 5:14 left to play. You're listening to KGR Student Voice of the Blues. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum here as the Cougs are leading 55-46, 5:14 left to play. You're listening to KGR Student Voice of the Blues. My name is Cooper, and we've got a sort of close game, 9-point game here. As we know, San Diego is winless in the WCC this season, but they haven't been blown out every game. A lot of games are pretty close, actually, in fact, especially their contest against LMU. So they will actually have the ball to start off the game, this fourth quarter break. So 5:03 left to play in the fourth quarter, 55-46 Cougs, Torero basketball. This will be Ransom. Ransom gets it over to Horstmeyer. Horstmeyer's mid-range is good, and she screams to her bench in excitedness. And this is Jenna Villa now. Pardon me, Jenna Villa is not on the floor. This Eleonora Villa gets it to Hina. So 55-48 Cougs, 4:38 left to play. Cami Etheridge probably doesn't like how close this game is. Alcina now to Wallach. Wallach still doesn't have that double-double. Eleanor Villa's three-pointer is no good from that right wing, as it is rebounded by the Toreros. This is one more up to Ranson. Ranson is going to work against Diana Mendez, but now gets it over to Moore, who's going to get it to Haley Rhodes. Haley Rhodes having a pretty good game here with 10 points. Tries to pass it inside, but back out to Rhodes. Rhodes is going to bounce off Alcina, and her layup is no good. Alcina's going to get the rebound, and she's going to come out with it, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 as Alcina slows it down, not willing to take the fast break opportunity. Tahina now to Wallach. Wallach is going to look inside as Mendez wants the ball, as she seals her man and can't put in the layup. but she's going to get fouled there. So 55-48 Cougs, 3:48 left to play. Mendez is going to go to the line for 2. Nobody in real foul trouble. More of the Toreros has 3, and nobody else has more than 2. Some even have 0, such as Eleanor Avila, Alcina, and that was actually Torero's first. That was, I believe, Horsemeyer's first foul. So this is Mendez's first free throw is good. So 3:48 left to play in the game. Cougs have an 8-point lead as of now. Almost going to be 7 if Mendez makes this one. As she lines up for the shot. And that is good as well. So 2 for 2 from the line. Mendez goes. 57-48 Cougs, 3:46 left to play. Time is slipping away for the Toreros. This is Ranson. Ranson out to Horsemeyer, whose 3 is off the side of the backboard, nowhere near close. Wallach gets the rebound. So Wallach almost has a double-double. This is Eleanor Avila now. She's going to do a cross-court pass to Tahina, who passes up a shot. Now over to Alcina on the left wing, inside to Wallach. And Wallach's short range 2 is good from just down in near the post. So Wallach, 17 points, 9 rebounds. She needs 1 more rebound for a 17-point double-double. Like to see her get that. As Toreros have the basketball here. 3:09 left to play. 59-48 Cougs. As this is Ranson's 3 from the left wing. And that is nowhere near close. Hits the backboard. Riley's going to fall on it, though. Wallach's going to try and get the... Wallach's going to try and get the rebound. And she can't. So she can't get the rebound for the double-double there. She knows she wanted that one. But it's going to be Torero basketball to inbound on the Cougar baseline. So Wallach, 17 points, 9 rebounds, almost as a double-double. Mendez has 15 points, 8 rebounds, so a couple rebounds away for those two from a double-double performance, which will be interesting. As the Toreros inbound here, this is Riley. Riley gets it out to Ransom. Ransom's going to work left against Wallach, who's going to try and smack that ball, but puts it up and in for the Toreros, 59-50. Cougs. Tara Wallach now is going to bring the ball up the court. Gets to Alcina. Alcina's going to make her way across half court near that Cougar logo. Still pretty far, trying to direct traffic, and looks like she shuffles her feet. No travel call, though. Mendez now working on that left elbow. Now to Tahina. Tahina's going to fake a 3. Alcina into Mendez. Mendez out to Wallach. Passes up the inside opportunity. Now pick and roll to Mendez, who's going to get smacked. And no foul. Good defense there by Ransom. Active hands there for the Toreros. So still, Cami Etheridge still wants the Cougs to get it inside to Mendez. Even though it is a 59-50 game, it seems to be working. They have maintained that 10-point buffer around for the entirety of this fourth quarter. Now Tahina gets it inbound to Wallach, who's going to try and put it inside, but she's triple teamed, and they're going to call a foul. Haley Rhodes is confused. That was a triple team of Wallach. She gets to go to the line for 2. A little bit of confusion there. Wallach looked a little bit out of control, but they give it to her. So 59-50 Cougs, 2:13 left to play in the game. As she is set to take the first of her 2 free throws, and she makes it. She makes that first one. So she has the potential to score 20 here, actually. 18 points, 9 rebounds so far, as her second free throw is good as well. So 19 points, 9 rebounds. She is really close to a 20-point double-double. That would be impressive for Tara Wallach, a career night. This is 61-50 Cougs. 2:07 left to play as Ranson drives inside. Blocked by Tahina, now guarded by Jenna Villa, but that shot is up and good. And we've got a foul. Pardon me, not a foul. A timeout for San Diego as Ranson made that too. So 61-52 Cougs, 2:02 left to play in the fourth quarter. We're going to get a quick 30-second timeout, it looks like here. Not sure if there was a foul on the floor. Could have been a foul on Jenna Villa, but we will get a break here. Score 61-52 Cougs, 2:02 left to play. San Diego running out of time, but we'll see if they can put something together after the break. And quickly back here, 61-52 Cougs, 2:02 left to play in the game. And speaking of double-doubles, Riley of the Toreros has 12 points, 11 rebounds, so she has successfully completed a double-double for her team. Wallach is 1 rebound away, and she will actually inbound the ball here and bring it up the court. A little full-court press coming out of the break, and Mendez is 15 points, 8 rebounds. Eleanor Avila's shot is no good, and it will be Torero basketball, so that was off the back of the iron. Not what you want to see if you're Cami Etheridge, but the San Diego Horstmeyer shot is now not good. Rebounded by Mendez. Cougs will try and slow it down. So San Diego trying to work quickly. They have 1:39 left to play in this game, but it is Cougar basketball. Astera Tahina now. And now Mendez and Wallach are both 1 rebound away from a double-double. Who's going to get it first? 1:28 left to play in this game. Wallach is going to drive left on Riley. She's going to stop and kick it back out to Mendez. Thinks about a 3, but now gets it back into Wallach, who's going to work on Riley. And her step through is good and 1. Tara Wallach with the acrobatic finish for a chance at a 3-point play. She has 21 points, 9 rebounds. She needs 1 more for a 20-point double-double. A career night. It would be a career night for Tara Wallach. A nice little star on the season. 20-point double-double here against and she completes the 3-point play. She's actually going to get subbed out. So Cami Etheridge subs out Tara Wallach, who's getting a standing ovation. Abraham will come in. So Tara Wallach does not get her double-double, but she does get a 20-point night and helps the Cougs lead 64-52 here. This is Haley Rhodes now drives. This is 1 more. Back out to Ranson. Ranson's going to get a screen from Riley, but she's going to find no space. Ranson still guarded by Mendez. Going to get another screen from Riley. Tries a little pick and roll to Riley, whose shot is no good, but she's going to get fouled on the play. She will go to the line for 2. 58.5 seconds left in this game. 64-52, so Cougs have a 12-point lead. Cami Etheridge not wanting to see Tara Wallach get that double-double, but she's helping her team to a win. Riley will go to the line for 2 for the Toreros. Diana Mendez will stay in, though. She has a chance here to get a rebound to make a 15-point double-double for her. As Jean Chu will sub in for Abraham for the Cougs. Jean Chu got to play last game against Pacific a little bit, and she will come in here with about a minute left to play, wearing a cool right knee sleeve. A little bit of drip for Jean Chu there, as the Torero player makes her first free throw, pardon me. That is Riley. And she makes her second. So Riley done everything she can to try and will this game back as she makes 2 free throws. Cougs are going to try and work out of a full court press here. Tahina out to a wide open Eleanor Avila, who's going to get her smacked. And this is Mendez with the rebound, and her shot is no good. So Eleanor Avila blocked from behind, kind of like LeBron James, really. But now that is a quick turnaround for Rhodes, who is fouled. So she will go to the line for 2. So score 64-54. Made it a little closer. But San Diego's still down 10. They're going to get a talking to from their coach, Cindy Fisher. Their coach, Cindy Fisher, who has not been super amped up all night. As Mendez will be subbed out for Alcina. So backups are coming in for the Cougs. So Mendez gets her double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds on the night. Career night for Mendez, who's been hot the past few games, double-digit point nights, and today she has a double-double. Rhodes' first free throw is no good, and her second free throw is, though. So 64-55 Cougs, 39.5 seconds left to play. Jenna Villa will inbound the ball as Haley Rhodes, Moore will come out for the Toreros. And that's actually going to get thrown away to Riley. Riley over to McCall, whose three-pointer from the corner is no good, but Cougs get it back now. Now Tahina is fouled, and a little bit of a hard foul, but Ranson apologizes. Tahina can get a little frustrated, we've seen in the past with hard fouls, but the Cougs will retain the basketball. 30.1 seconds left to play, 64-55, as San Diego will call a quick 30-second timeout. So 9 points here, starting to slip away for San Diego. Cami Etheridge is going to talk with her team, as well as Cindy Fisher, about stuff to do. San Diego, for the past minute, has been putting on a full court press. And they actually got the ball back that time, but McCall couldn't make that three-pointer in the far left corner. And story of the night, Diana Mendez, 15-point double-double, and Tara Wallach, 1 rebound away from hers. She has 20. She ended the night with, I believe, 21 points, though. As the Toreros take the floor again. Toreros wearing their navy blue unis with the light blue accents. Cougs wearing their all-white home unis with the crimson accents. Jenna Villa to inbound here. She is pump faking. Pump fakes, pump fakes. Now gets to Eleanor Villa, who pushed off, and now that is a foul on Eleanor Villa. So quick foul for San Diego. Cindy Fisher probably a little bit frustrated. Eleanor Villa pushed off a little bit of a Reggie Miller pushing off to get that wide open shot, if we know that reference, but not too bad. Eleanor Villa will go to the line for 2, so 64-55. Cougs, 28-7 left to play in the fourth quarter. In the rest of this game, Cougs are looking to take a win here as Eleanor Villa makes her first, and we've got even more subs coming in for both teams. So Kira Gardner coming in, as well as Alice Dart making her first appearance in this game. Eleanor Villa makes her second, and those subs come in. So Aster Tahina is out, as well as Eleanor Villa. Alice Dart is in, and Kira Gardner is in, as we are taking a break here. So Cami Etheridge has put in the bench players, as the score is 11-point Cougar lead, 66-55, 28.7 seconds left to play in this game. Overall, a pretty good game, especially inside. Cami Etheridge, a lot different from last game against Pacific, where they shot a bunch of threes. They've done the work inside, and now they continue to feast inside. Only shooting 29% from 3, but that 39% field goal percentage from the floor was enough inside to get to topple San Diego here shortly. 28.7 seconds, 11-point difference, as this is kind of a long break. So we will take a break too. You're listening to KGO Student Voice of Blues. About 28 seconds left to play in this game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And as I say that, the break will actually be over and both teams will take the floor. So we are not going to break. This game is going to finish up real quickly here. Coach Fisher for the Toreros trying to navigate everything, maybe give themselves a chance. 11 points isn't unheard of, but it is unlikely. But the Toreros will have the basketball. Alice Dart being explained to by the ref, not to break the plane on the inbound, on the sideline inbound. This is Rhodes. Rhodes looking for a pass. She gets it into Moore. Moore is going to fake a handoff and passes it all the way out for a design play to Ranson, whose 3 from the corner is no good. Rebounded by Riley. She's been a rebound machine all night, and she is going to actually and one Jenna Villa. So she'll have a chance at a 3-point play. Cami Etheridge a little frustrated over there. Not sure if that's at the refs. Looks like she wanted a offensive foul potentially on Riley. Yep, she's throwing her hands up in the air. She's kind of frustrated at that official over on the far side, giving her a earful right now as Riley completes the 3-point play. So 66-58 Cougs. Jenna Villa to inbound. She's running back and forth on the baseline. Tries to get into Jean Chu. Intercepted, and that's an easy 2, but they can't make it. Ranson is going to fall, and now that's another foul. So Cougs not playing this game particularly well at the end. 15.7 seconds left to play. Now only an 8-point lead. So Jenna Villa tries to get into Jean Chu, who had her head in her jersey. She's obviously a little frustrated. Comes in for the last minute, and a little bit of a mental error there. Horstmeyer is going to come in for the Toreros. She's going to come in for more. So putting in a shooter, the Toreros are, as Ranson will get 2 free throws. So free points. Chance to make it a 6-point game here. Getting a little interesting coming down to the wire as that first free throw bounces in. Cami Etheridge is obviously pretty frustrated. She's kind of pacing back and forth. Probably getting a little antsy here. Don't want it to get close against the winless team in the WCC as the second free throw is made. Now, Alcina gets it in quickly to Kira Gardner. Good, easy pass in for Alcina. Caught lacking, the Toreros were. And Kira Gardner will go to the line Kira Gardner has 0 points in this game. She had 7 points last game. Pretty good game from her last game, but she will have a chance at her first points tonight. 14 seconds left, 66-60 Cougs, as Gardner's first free throw is a brick. She actually gets her own rebound there. So not looking good. Hopefully she makes this second one as she does her pre-shot routine, and that is good. So she goes 1 for 2 from the line. 67-60 Cougs. A little too close here. 13 seconds and counting as Rhodes brings it up the court. She's going to go for a quick 2 and actually going to smoke the layup. Rebounded by Dart, who's going to dribble the ball out. And the Cougs will take home another win. That'll make it 3 in a row. Cougs finish 67-60 over the San Diego Toreros. Career nights from Diana Mendez, who had a 15-point double-double. And Tara Wallach, who had 20 points, almost had a double-double herself. But she had about 21 points, I believe. So Cougs will extend their win streak to 3 after a pretty horrific loss against LMU. They will head to Gonzaga next Saturday, so they will get a week break. And that Gonzaga team, as we know, is leading the WCC at 14-8 heading into today, 9-2 in West Coast Conference play. Cougs improved to 15-10 at 10-4 in West Coast Conference play. San Diego falls again. They are now 4-17, 0-12 in WCC play. Hopefully they can get a win here by the end of the year. But Cougs, good resounding win. Cami Etheridge probably going to voice her frustration to the team about finishing cleanly as the game got pretty close towards the end. But Cougs managed to pull it out. And Riley of the Toreros actually ended with 17 points, 12 rebounds. And Ranson ended with 13 points, Rhodes 11 points. So Riley, pretty good game inside. Definitely a battle inside for both teams. And Cougs, after heading to Gonzaga, will go to LMU on Thursday, February 13th at 6 p.m. Actually, they will play LMU at Beasley Coliseum Thursday, February 13th. So they will be back after a quick trip up to Spokane. Hopefully they can improve. They are standing in the WCC with a win against the good Gonzaga team. Men also play Gonzaga next week, and that should be exciting. Well, it was fun calling it. Cougs win 67-60 against the San Diego Toreros. You're listening to KJR, Student Voice of Blues. My name is Cooper Morgan, signing off.